Hello, welcome to our Maundy Thursday Reflection. And here I am on the steps of our sanctuary here at Slackwood Presbyterian Church. And I'm sitting here just to be reminded that any other year we would be coming together this evening and we would be celebrating Jesus's final night with his disciples, that we would be washing one another's hands and feet, literally, that we would be following Christ's example and reminding ourselves of how important it is to follow Jesus' command. Let me share with you what that command is. It comes from John chapter 13, beginning at the end of verse 2. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and wiped them with a towel that was tied around him. It comes to a point where Jesus just has an interaction with Simon Peter, and then I'm going to come back to verse 12. After he had washed their feet, had put on his robe, and had returned to the table, he said to them, "Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you also do as I have done to you. Very truly, I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you do these things, you are blessed if you do them." Jesus' words are as true today as they were 2,000 years ago. Now, the challenge we have in these unprecedented times is how can we wash one another's feet when we are practicing social distancing, when we are keeping our distance, where we can't even come together on a Maundy Thursday and practice foot and hand washing. Well, I want to share with you a diagram that has been going around social media, and I think it's really helpful. We put it on our church webpage a few days ago, and I'm going to put it up on the screen now. The question that is asked is, who do I want to be during COVID-19? And it starts in the smallest of circles, a circle that only cares about ourselves. And there you can see that in that world, we take all the toilet paper and food from the stores that we can, even though we don't need it all. Where we let our emotions get the best of us. We start to be irritable and complain and show anger in a way that hurts those around us. But that's not how Jesus is calling us to live. That is not the blessed life that Jesus has promised us if we live a different way. And so we get the opportunity now to look at what a life beyond ourselves looks like. And so we move to that different circle, the learning zone, where we start to recognize that there are certain things that are going on that are totally out of our control, that we need to make sure that we are aware of the emotions that we are feeling, that we are aware of the situation that is at hand, to be aware of the sources of information that we are drawing from. Are they reliable sources? Are they speaking the truth? Do they have our best interests in heart? And to make sure that the information that we have is true and factual before we send it out to social media to those around us that might cause further confusion. And I like this part, to recognize that we are all trying to do our best. And I truly believe that we are doing that. But there's one more zone, the growth zone, where we can express gratitude and appreciation towards one another, where we can value the relationships that we continue to have, even though it might be through online and social media, to know that people are caring about us and we care about them. To look for opportunities for change and growth, things that we can learn during this time. To be empathetic towards one another, to live in the present, to continue to hold on to hope, to make the best of our talents and gifts. We saw that last Sunday in the worship service, the variety of different gifts and talents that each and every person has in our congregation, and the artwork and the music and the scripture reading. And finally, how we can think of others. Imagine if each and every person on this planet, their actions were determined on what is in the best interest of those around me. Imagine what would happen to this flattening the curve if every single one of us were to do that. Now, how grateful I am that I get to share this message with you during this time, because it helps us. It reminds us not only of who Jesus is, but who Jesus is calling us to be. Jesus has commanded that we go and do likewise. And so we have a unique opportunity this year to be servants and to look out for the best interests of one another. And so I encourage you to continue to do what you are doing. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we remember Good Friday. Be safe, be healthy, continue to pray for one another, and look out for one another's best interests. Thank you.